What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Now Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be discussing Mars and Taurus, and what it's like to have Mars and Taurus in your astrological natal chart. So, let's get into it. What is Mars? Mars is our willpower. It is our energy. It is our motivation and passion towards getting the things that we want out of life. And rather our approach towards that. It relates to our anger and overall temperament. It's our inner warrior, so how we defend ourselves. And how we physically exert ourselves. Taurus is the original sign of the second house. It corresponds to security and the gathering of resources. It relates to the senses. It relates to money and wealth and finances. And it's Venus ruled. So the first thing you need to know about Mars and Taurus is it's a very easygoing Mars. And keeping with the analogy of Mars being a soldier, Mars and Aries, like I said, is that warrior. It is that they're out there, they're a soldier, they're a general, they're competing, they're physically exerting themselves. And now Mars and Taurus is like that soldier after he's been sent home from war. And now his focus is to build himself. And with that, that's through the gathering of resources. So this is a very materially motivated Mars. A Mars that wants the finer things in life. And depending on the house that it ends up in, is going to show you that motivation. So with Taurus being the sign of luxury and nice things, if this Mars were to end up in the fourth house, this is the type of person that when you go to their home, you see where they put their resources into. They have a very nice home. And if, like, complimenting wise, let's say this is like a Aries sun, they may have things in the house where you can compete, right? Like indoor gym and whatever they're really passionate about, you'll see through their home life in the way that they've acquired things to sustain that. If this is like a Mars in the 11th house, they're gonna, speaking of, we'll touch on a few, they'll want to have friends who reflect that Taurian lifestyle. So they'll be attracted to, beautiful people, fashion, designers, models, musicians, things like that. So that Mars, whatever house it ends up in, is really going to show you the motivation. But nonetheless, like I said, very material-minded Mars, and the capacity to generate wealth is there. And through the things that it can do, that will be connected to the house and the planets aspecting this Mars. Now, the reason I brought up the 11th house, Kanye West is an 11th house Mars and Taurus conjunct Venus and Neptune. So everything I said, you can now see how that's played out and just how Kanye does things. He's had a higher vision to change whatever field he's in, whether it be music, whether it be fashion, right? He's injecting his drive towards that. And it's evidence that, with the 11th house and others, Kanye's always affiliated, his success is always associated with others, whether it be good music, Jay-Z, Rockefeller, all of that, okay? So, moving on, the next thing that I see with this Mars, since we're talking about music, is a bit of musicality. Taurus, second house, corresponds to the throat, speaking, all of that. And just through research, I've seen a good amount of singers with Mars and Taurus. And it's not even like a overly, like PLUTO type of voice. The Mars and Taurus singers are Michael Jackson, Selena Gomez, and I believe Madonna as well, right? So it's a very artistically inclined type of position. So, but it definitely manifests in some type of distinct voice, but overall artistic ability, right? Now, the good thing about this Mars in Taurus is the virtues of patience that comes with Taurian energy and easygoing. Like I said, not overly aggressive or hostile. However, defensive. You know how Taurus is stubborn? These are people who will defend themselves when they feel attacked. You know, so it could be a bit that bullheadedness is particularly strong within these individuals. They cling to their opinions, right? Also, like I said, there's a very sensual nature being ruled by Venus, and you'll really want to see what sign Venus is in because it's ruling this Mars, and that's really going to show furthermore what it pursues and how it goes about it. So if Venus is in a really strong position, like say regardless of sign, say it's in like the second house, then you're gonna have, whether it's a male or a woman, someone who is very if it's a guy, flamboyant; if it's a woman, you know, Hasidity, things like that. That luxurious nature is gonna be stronger. Also you'll find is that there's good ability with mathematics, accounting, money managing, things like that. And normally, work-wise, there's always a calculating component towards the job, or somewhat mechanical, right? So it doesn't have to be physical, but it'll be calculating, forcing, you know, the Mars person to really think practically. To everything leads back to like, how can I get more, right? So you also got to keep in mind that this Mars, it can become complacent because of that easygoing nature. And if, let's say, depending on the planet, I want to say Jupiter. When you say you have a Mars aspecting this Jupiter in some type of way, this is immense creative energy, and this is immense potential for wealth, but at the same time fluctuating money. But motivational wise, I find that Mars and Taurus doesn't always reach their potential because they're not as motivated as the Mars and Aries. So you want to be mindful of laziness. It's a thing. You know, it's very possible. And you get blinded because it isn't necessarily an opposition. And so it's like if you're overindulging food, but your weight fluctuates so you could gain weight and lose weight fast, you know, you're going to be more inclined to keep that up versus if the weight just stick to you. So Mars and Taurus has to like kind of govern themselves. You're going to have to develop a little bit of self-discipline and just make sure you're always motivating yourself. Okay? It's a lot connected to this position. Overall, I find Mars does well here. And remember what I said? You're here to simplify things, right? This Mars isn't trying to conquer Rome in a day, which is to his benefit. So, this is my interpretation of Mars and Taurus. Feel free to chime in. Let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do so now. If you need a reading, look in the description, send me an email, and we'll set something up. Until next time, peace.